Hey guys, have you ever wanted more time in your garden? Well, I don't. I am talking about not time like a clock, like the minutes and the hours we have every day. I'm talking about time, like taking over my entire garden spaces. Time, the reason my fall garden plants are still not in the ground is I have a problem with time in my garden. Problem one, we're going to get rid of all this thyme out of this strawberry container, celery as well. So I'll just have celery, strawberries, maybe a little lettuce, but no more thyme. These guys, I just removed all of the thyme from the other day. Watch this clip right here. See how that thyme took over the entire planter. The strawberries that were growing in there as well died because the thyme took over, robbed the nutrients, and did not leave space for those strawberries to thrive. I did recycle the thyme, and it is down there now as a border. This thyme can stay because it's all off on its little own lonesome self. That thyme can stay. And this container was completely being robbed of nutrients as well from so much thyme. And now you can see it's gone. I'm just going to have strawberries. No more thyme in this container. There is the thyme that I removed. I will repurpose that as ground cover somewhere that I don't care, if it takes over. That's perfectly fine. But let's go look at some more problem areas. Do you see what I see? Thyme. These poor roses are being completely smothered by all of this thyme. And when I put that thyme in there, it was just a few little sprigs, nothing much. And look at what happens within 6 to 9 months. The entire container is completely overtaken. And then I have to deal with, where do I put this thyme? How do I clean it up? How do I save these plants that have lost all of this growing space due to this thick matting of thyme? The rose back there is also full of thyme, that container. Here are the fall plants we need to get in the ground. So in order to do that, let's go take a look at the thyme we need to remove. That can stay. That can stay. This thyme may need to get trimmed back. It's starting to invade into that area over there. That thyme needs to go. And the thyme that used to be on this walkway has infiltrated into this raised bed. I cannot even plant what I want to plant there until we remove all of that thyme. The same thing happened over here on this side. I had a little bit of thyme in that container there in the background, and it infiltrated forward into this raised bed. I cannot even plant my peas there until I remove that thyme, so that will need to go. We're going to get a look over here because guess what? Yep, more thyme. I know you're thinking it looks gorgeous. It does. But it's too much thyme, too much thyme, too much thyme, too much thyme. So much thyme in this container here that this poor little eggplant did not grow. And the only way I'm keeping these alive right here is with mega fertilization because thyme, too much thyme. We're going to clean this up. We're going to get some fall plants into these containers after we amend that soil. Don't worry, we are going to recycle this thyme, and I will be donating some of this to a friend who needs some ground cover on a walkway. Last fall when I planted my garlic, I removed 99.9% of the thyme from these containers. I left just a few little sprigs thinking I could control it. It would look pretty. It would be pest control, with the aroma of the beautiful thyme. Well, guess what? Look what happened in less than, 9-10 months. This is what happened. It's kind of scary. So when I relocated the thyme from last fall, I just put a little over here, just a few sprigs here and there. And now we have a beautiful ground cover that is taking over. I have a feeling these Jimmy Nardello did not do as well this year because of all the thyme down there. And I put a few sprigs over here. And now it has infiltrated. It kind of looks pretty, to be honest, right? But we're going to clean this up. We're going to get the rest of our fall plants into those containers. We're going to recycle that thyme, and I'm glad you're here. So let's get busy. Alright guys, it's a few days later. I need to make a decision before we get started. Do I want to continue the thyme ground cover in this garden area? So I do have strawberries as ground cover. They're starting to blend in with the thyme. So I'm not sure if I should continue the thyme, but I do want to go ahead and put some mulch down over top of this cardboard because it looks ugly. Very, very ugly. So I feel like I need to make a decision before I can put the mulch down. I don't know, I think I'll think about it while we get busy, get all of this thyme cut out. I think it's even multiplied more since I made the first part of the video. You can see my tomato here is gone. That was in the last clip. Cut him out, and things are starting to look really different, really barren and kind of fallish. But we definitely have got to get this thyme out. I did take out that other tomato as well. Trying to remove some things, and this thyme is making it very difficult. I'm gonna have to look up the variety of thyme this is. I'll put the name on the screen. I'll have to go look in my email actually to see. I remember I got the seeds from Baker Creek. I'll just put the name on the screen, but I will tell you it is very, very vigorous, and it seems to be evergreen here for me, which is kind of cool if you want ground cover. This is zone 7B-ish. It's a beautiful thyme. So I guess I'm just going to start ripping. They're not too deeply rooted, as you can see. I'm going to keep a few of these sprigs in case I do want to make a ground cover, but most of this is just going to get into a bag. These bags right here. All right, I got one container done, and so these did flower on me this summer, and they not only spread by the roots very aggressively, as you can tell here in this other container, but also seed. And so I don't know how many babies we will have from all the seeds dropping during the summer. It's hard to say. You can see the nice fresh growth down in here. Maybe these are babies. No, these are not babies. This is just growth. This is just growth off of the roots. But this is nice, fresh, tender growth. Let's see if it smells any differently. Not really. It's just a solid mat. I am making progress. Just saw the creepiest spider ever. So I'm gonna go get some gloves. But look at how dense the mat. It's just a complete mat of roots from the thyme. You can see how far down they actually went. Usually it's fairly shallow, but this variety seems to have really dense, thick roots. So no wonder that poor eggplant had such a hard time. Now I know. This container wasn't nearly as bad. I was able to rip those out really easily. This one I had to really work to get those roots out. So I'm gonna find my gloves, keep taking all these out, and then in a few, well, it'll feel like a minute to you, but it'll be like probably 20-30 minutes for me. I'm gonna put these poor struggling starts into those containers. Look, they are so dry. We had all that rain, everything was so wet, and now everything is dry because we haven't had rain in like a week, I guess. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That is a whole huge chunk of just matted thyme. Just gonna put it in the bag, give it a little water, get it taken to my friend's house, and it will be gone. I filled up this bag as well. It is such a gorgeous day here today. It is a little windy, not bad, but it feels so incredible. I think the high is 68. It's cooling off, but it's dry. It is dry, but it feels so incredible. But look, I got those done. So we're gonna go get some more bags because I also need to remove all of this thyme and all the thyme in the raised bed area. I need to make a decision on this eggplant. What would you do? I probably have maybe 3 weeks until first frost. There's a lot of flowers on here. Not sure if that's long enough to develop a fruit though. So I did find some more bags. I've got 3 big bags. We can put more of that thyme in. And then I'm like, okay, if I'm planting those containers, should I go ahead and put some garlic in? I ordered this probably 3 weeks ago, which was early. I usually don't plant garlic until November. But I'm tempted. Nuka Rose. I just looked it up. It's a soft neck. If it was a hard neck, I think I might put it in. I don't know. It's really warm. It's going to get warm next week. I feel like I should wait until we get our first frost and then plant. That's what I normally do. That's what we're supposed to do in this area. Okay, I should wait. I'm going to get back out. Hopefully that garlic will hold tight until November and we will be okay. I think another good reason to hold off on planting the garlic now is that these plants, they need nitrogen right now. Oh, there's a bee trying to get me. Go away, go away. And when I plant my garlic bulbs, I like to put a lot of the bone meal, which has more phosphorus. I really want to get these guys going with a lot of nitrogen, whereas I don't want those garlic bulbs putting on a lot of green growth. I want them to develop roots, not a bunch of the green shoots, I guess you could say. Alright guys, so here we go. This is the meat of this video, the whole point, and what I needed to know, which I already knew, but now I have confirmation. Both of these containers were exactly the same for years. The one on the left had very deep, aggressive root development from that time. The one on the right had minimal root development with the thyme. It did have quite a bit of thyme, as you did see, but I was able to grow a tomato, have it fruit, and live a very successful life until it was time for it to come out. The planter on the left, I was not able to support an eggplant that I planted there at the exact same time I planted the tomato. You can just see the color difference in the soil. The one that had aggressive root development and thyme taking over, it's very dry. The soil feels very brittle and different. And so those roots actually matted about 4 inches down. And that's why this planter has much less soil in it now. The one on the right, it's fluffy, it's loose, it's moist, and it looks good. It's a few roots here and there that I've been pulling out from the thyme, but this one will not need a lot of extra potting mix, if any. This one, I'm still pulling roots out, and it is going to need some amending, some compost, some potting mix, which I'm going to do that right now before we put in those brassicas and take out those roots and get busy. But what a difference, right? What an extreme difference. So the point is, do not plant thyme in containers. Treat it like mint or oregano or another aggressive herb, unless you live in a zone where it's going to die off quite a bit. If it's going to continue to be evergreen all year round, it's just going to get out of control and take over. Okay, so I got the compost. We're going to add in, a nice amount. But look what I found. An armyworm caterpillar. Yep, trying to burrow down for winter. So you can see I put quite a bit more compost into the left and a little more fertilizer. Much less compost here. Somewhat less fertilizer. And now I'm just going to mix it all in really good and then top with potting soil with this guy on the left. And then we will top, or not top over there because I'm not even sure if it needs anything. Just going to try to mix it in as best we can. And then we will plant those brassicas. For cauliflowers, Absolute is the variety. Planted. Thyme is gone. I've got a lot of work to do yet. As you can see, I'm not looking forward to this, but I've learned my lesson. No more thyme or any herb that's perennial in my growing zone in a container with other plants. It needs to have its own separate container. I did have to restart my spinach. I've got a lot of spinach planted here. My lettuce is on the top shelf there. But I've learned my lesson. I have learned my lesson with the thyme. So I'm going to tackle these containers next. You guys, I hope you're having a great gardening week. And I will talk to you very soon. Come back for the garden tour because I'm sure these guys hopefully will be a little bit bigger. They are root bound at this point. That was my fault for taking so long to get all this thyme removed. Bye guys.